Not again, Monet.
Luca on the track.
Me and my guys go back to the sandbox. So all my bros got the same ops. Thought it was sweet, ain't paying not. All in the field, no sand lot. Like an all black college got bands out. Chop an arm off, or I give a hand out. Since a young boy knew I stand out. Hit the plug so much he ran out. Started with nothing, it turned into something. Heard at the venue, they playing me dumping. It take a lot to make all these hundreds. It take a lot, we keeping it jumping. Started with nothing, it turned into something. Heard at the venue, they playing me dumping. It take a lot to make all these hundreds. It take a lot, we keeping it jumping. Saying too much, I don't trust that. He just a kitty, an actress. They sending shots, I'ma duck that. Spin back, this not a game, this is practice. Think I'm up, they keep checking my status. Must be my ego just slaying the baddest. Know how to get me whenever we at it. Hit where it hurt, try and call me an addict. We got the spot high jumping, no discussion, we did it with Dan. Light on my mind, you know that I be blunted. Might got a problem, I wish that I wasn't. Bring up my name and little shorty start blushing. Think she want me bang it out like percussion. Devil try to take me, stand up, I ain't running. Move like a stepper, you know how we coming. Big drip, navy, surfboard, wavy. Trips in the flower, I ain't talking no daisy. Nice with the rock, I should sign do with Jay-Z. Bad little vibe, wanna be my baby. Wanna be around, say I treat her like a lady. If you gon' do it, then you gotta go crazy. If you gon' do it, then you gotta go crazy.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your host, Dangerous DevNasty, aka Choke Your Mama Out, aka Choke Your Pop Out, and I'm fresh off the motherfucking plane. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Viva Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? They calling me everything. They calling me Dominican DevNasty. You know what I'm saying? All of that came back a little bit darker and all that. I was riding horses. You know what I'm saying? I was jumping off boats and shit, snorkeling and shit, grabbing fish with my bare motherfucking hands. Nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was doing all of that.
You came back looking like the real Diego.
He was riding a horse named Black Man.
Yeah, right. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I ain't leave it to the Paul's bro general. So to point that out, I did call him that. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dominican Dev, yo. But we back, man, and a lot of news happened this week. It was a crazy week. So we said, look, we're gonna get in here real quick with my Talk Heavy brothers. We ain't gonna take too long. We're gonna get right to it. Of course, across from me, you know what I'm saying, we got Puerto Rico's own, Camden's own, Porter Rich.
What up, y'all?
And to the left of me, we have the fashionista herself, Wally Water Kingdom, aka Waleska D.
Hello, beautiful people. Mwah.
And if y'all know the tradition, before we get to all the shit this week, because you know we got to talk about DaBaby and everything that's going on with that. Of course, we talking about what's coming on after this show, Versuz, the Dipset versus Dollaz. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about a lot of different controversies because this week with the Olympics, it was so much shit going on. But before we get into that, let's run through the traditional intros of Talk Heavy.
Yeah. It's the Prince of Hunting Park, the BBW lover, the pregnant woman slayer, Mr. 2 push-ups a night, the man made in the image of God himself, Slice Maximus.
It's the North Philly legend, Strawberry Mansion's finest, the BBW hater, the pregnant woman creator. They call me Jesus' first cousin. He go raw cause the condom keep bussin' from North Philly to South Beach, cause that's about as long as this pipe reach. You should always fuck with a bitch that stutter from the get-go, cause you might bust your nut before she say no. G_winner.
Same people that tried to cancel DaBaby, you gonna fuck around and cancel this nigga right
Philly
here.
Heat.
Listen, man, they
That's
gonna
Philly Heat combined.
I can never get comfortable with this intro.
Yeah. Listen. That's on him. Like I said, the thoughts of Talk Heavy is Talk Heavy's alone. The Devinwade Show, we're on a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? But let's jump into it, man, because this shit gonna fly by. DaBaby. I don't know what he was thinking. This is me personally. I understand DaBaby had some words at Rolling Loud. You know what I'm saying? He was on stage. He said some things. I can't quote it exactly, but he said
We
something.
can't quote what he said?
No. I said I can't quote it exactly. I want to make sure that if I get one word wrong,
Right.
Rich,
It's not your fault.
They'll be inside of the motherfucking comments saying
That ain't what he said.
I tried to put words in his
He
mouth.
said this.
You know what I mean? I didn't try to put nothing in his mouth. Right?
Paraphrasing this.
I want to be clear. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Right.
he said, if you ain't suck no dick out in the parking lot, right? You know,
Right.
put your lighters up, put your phones up, something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? He was like, if you don't got HIV or AIDS,
Damn.
put your phone up. And what else? What else was there? Was there something else?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But it was all
It was homoerotic, whatever it was.
so whatever it was, basically looked like it was targeted to a certain community.
Correct.
And I don't know what people are thinking in this time period. We all could give our opinions on what he said in the backlash, because what's happened from this is he's been canceled from mad events. Lollapalooza saying they don't want to rock with him. I heard another event just earlier today. Canceled him. Like, everybody's cutting him off. Different. Was it Questlove? I think might have spoke out. You know, it's been different people that's been speaking out against this man and wanting him pulled off of remixes and things like that. What I don't get at this point is, if you disagree with a person's lifestyle, right?
Right.
If you don't even respect the lifestyle, like, I'm not saying he don't respect it, but let's say they don't. When you gonna start respecting people power? When, like if you know you in a nigga town, you can't move a certain way. You know, like, bro, if you out here and you on the West Coast and they run shit like this, and they say you can't do this, that, and the third, you at a certain point you just gotta respect the power. I ain't home.
Or it's consequences that come with it.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I ain't home. You feel me? When
Yep.
niggas go to jail, a nigga might have been like, I use whatever phone I want on the street. But
Right.
I'm in here now, and they said, this the Spanish phone. This the black phone. You can't just jump on that Spanish phone. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so at what point is people going to realize, if you looked at this community as a gang, their power
They're probably one of the
Yeah.
strongest
Yeah,
gangs.
they strongest gang
Matter
out
of fact,
right
they
now.
might-
in entertainment.
They might be
in entertainment.
Because it's not like one. It's like the gang is like, it's multiples in one. It's like a whole
Yeah.
entity.
They half the alphabet.
They are
Yeah.
they are the gatekeepers to fashion, television,
Entertainment.
music. They are the gatekeepers.
Correct.
But you have to be mindful of what you're saying. I feel like, did your performance have to do with anything of what you were saying? Like, I'm just curious of what was the purpose of saying the things. Like, I'm just curious, because I just feel like that's not a discussion you have on, or just, I mean, because it's not like there's a scenario that happened. Like, I'm just saying.
I get it.
I want to chime in just so I want to chime in real quick, because I hit my little Google real quick, and I see why kind of like it's an issue though, you know, because
You got the words?
Yeah, I got the words.
All right, so
I got the words.
let's quote him.
Where he said one of the sentences was, if you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, and any of them deadly sexual transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up.
All right.
The next one.
Is anything wrong
Hold on.
with that?
The next one was, ladies, if your pussy smell like water, I just got it. You know. Ladies, that's my name. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone, light them up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone light up. Keep it real.
So if they was sucking dick at the crib, it was all right.
Hey, listen. So this is where it gets interesting. In his first apology, he kind of tried to say what he was saying.
that's what our lawyer would have said.
He tried to say, like,
Yeah.
well, my gay fans is honorable and classy. They don't suck dick.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, listen, son. Come on, son. I love the baby, man. Who are you outsmarting, son? You not outsmarting nobody with that, my
His
man.
PR should have just helped him a little bit better with that apology,
Yeah.
because that right there, that's just more of like, you're just winging it now. Like,
Right.
you're legit just
Yeah,
saying,
it's just messy. It's
Yeah.
it's
Can I
ugly and
intervene?
messy. But who
Go
knows?
ahead,
But
Slice.
who knows?
Is it racist
Hold on, racist?
Racist.
Hold
I
on.
always got to put a race card with a black man in trouble. But let me break it down. Let me tell you what I'm
Okay,
talking about.
go ahead.
There's some words that we don't use often, but we have a popular rapper named Eminem.
Yes.
And he may have said every evil gay bashing word
Yes.
across America.
Uh-huh.
Right? But I don't remember him ever being.
You're a wild.
He went
I
down.
don't know.
He went down.
He went diamond.
Hold on, wait.
Nah, they-
hold on.
but they
No.
attacked- they attacked
No,
Eminem.
but
Did he
hold
get
on,
banned
hold
from
on. No,
society?
hold on. Let's.
Yeah,
So
they-
I don't know.
You might have
Okay.
fucked up on this.
Oh, let me hear this.
The backlash that Eminem went through was on a whole nother level.
Break it down.
Them niggas had parades in the street
Against him.
burning this niggas, running over his CDs with motherfucking like the construction
Yeah.
vehicles.
They
like
bought them
they didn't
motherfuckers
get
up.
banned
no,
from
no, but this
Lollapalooza,
was
though.
this is the difference, bro. One, we talking about do the math, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is 20 years
later.
ago. So we talking about
Yeah.
the progression of everything that's been going on.
Everything
It's been a
evolved.
full 20 years since that nigga dropped that verse. Talking about all of that shit. Since I'm not a politician, but I kick it with him a minute on the Jay-Z Renegade was 20 whole years ago. And that was after he was already going through this. So the shit he went through was 22 years ago.
And it was to the point where, like, even as big as he was and as powerful as he was in they whole camp, they whole committee, but he had to, like, make right, with just, with that and with the the people who live their lifestyle like that, because it was like celebrities that he like, came
offended.
at, and then he came back and made it right. with-
Remember, he had to even go. He went on stage and performed with Elton John, which
Absolutely.
at that time
Absolutely.
for hip hop was
Absolutely.
like
Major.
different. That was different. It wasn't like it is today. So for him back then to be like, nah, I want y'all to know, he hopped on that joint, and that's why there was certain things even in the movie. If you go back to what was the movie about Eminem's like 8 Mile,
8
where
Mile,
it was loose off his life. He made it where he had a homie at his job that was a gay dude
yes, he
that
did.
took his. Remember, hold up,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that took
tell
a
you what it
shift.
was.
That took a shift for him,
Because
yeah.
what he was trying to explain was, we've talked about on his show how the F word used to be used, but it didn't really mean to us necessarily a gay person.
Yeah.
So in the battle, when the dude was picking on his gay homie, he was just like, he's gay, you're a
Right.
like to separate the difference of. So there was things that he was doing in media in a slower time. Remember, media moves slower too. There was no social media to rile up all the people at once to get them up out of here.
So are we saying that gay people are the new Illuminati?
You close to it.
That's how I feel.
I don't think,
That's how I feel.
but I don't think, like, and it's just me keeping it G, like keeping it a little serious, getting a little bit more serious with this situation. I don't feel like it's really all about like a gay community and him just violating the gay community in this situation after me reading these words. Like,
He
and
even
then listen,
violated women.
I fuck with DaBaby. I fuck with DaBaby heavy. I fuck with his music. I fuck with his grind, his hustle, the whole shit. And I know a lot of his shit. It come from antics. It come from him wearing a diaper and just different shit.
Right.
You're an entertainer, man.
where you an entertainer, and
That's where I wanna go.
maybe he was just a little bit excited and just talking his shit a little wild like he do, because that's what they look for. But you do gotta be mindful when you saying shit like if you ain't coming here with HIV AIDS, if you ain't coming here, if you ain't one of them people with sexually transmitted diseases that can die in 2-3 weeks, because guess what?
It's
That's
somebody
not
in there.
that's not
That's
only
not-
talking about the gay
Yeah,
community.
because you can get HIV from a woman.
You can, I mean,
Yeah, you get HIV
it's
from
people
heterosexual
out,
sex.
It's people out here that then trusted somebody, period.
Right,
They just went on
right.
a date, period, and met somebody, period, and ended up encountering in one of these situations, and they somewhere fighting
Now,
for their
Porter,
life.
Hey, hold
I
on,
think it's-
real
I
quick.
think
I want to,
go
because
ahead.
I don't want to get off of this, because in that apology, that's where he also messed up. Is when he talked about the AIDS, and he was like, I know my fans, they not know like dirty people or whatever, and it's like, no, my man, that's not how it works. It's not
Right.
like if you're just a dirty person or you wild out. And like I said, I want to be clear.
Is
I
he
wanna
just
be-
ignorant?
That's
Is
right.
he
That's
just
what I'm
ignorant?
saying.
Correct,
So
correct.
education.
So this is my one of my problems with the whole shit. DaBaby, I fuck with him. He says some shit I don't agree with but I don't agree with canceling him at all.
At all.
Because what I don't understand is the moral thing. Like when people come out and speak out about shit, I don't believe they're speaking out about it because they're really offended or they really want to defend gay people. And this is just my guess. They're doing it because a lot of times it's a good look for them. They'll be on that side. They're trying to win favor with a particular crowd. You know what I mean? So they like, oh, I got somebody I could help them jump on, and they gonna fuck with it because not Rolling Loud, but these other venues, Lollapalooza, whatever, they'll have a problem saying, you know, we want to have an honorable, respectful show, this, that, and the third. But they'll let a nigga perform a song and rap lyrics about a dead guy. They'll let people all day talk about shooting other black men in the face, sell crack cocaine, things that have claimed the lives of millions of people.
Right.
That people are tormented with, you know, it's people in the crowd, people that's watching at home. Like, the reality is most people have someone that they've lost to drug addiction.
Yes.
Drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact is, it's kind of like picking and choosing morally what they won't stand for. So I'm gonna go down this list. Think about this real quick.
Now, that's
Bro,
real.
GB. It'll be like they listening to a song. And he said, fucked on your bitch, and I never called her again. No, that's cool. That ain't nothing about that. You know what I mean? That was her fault. You know what I'm saying? Caught the op slipping, shot him in his face. Now, you know what I mean? His family, you know, fuck them shirts. We kicking, we pissing on his grave. All that type of shit. We smoking on Tuka and all this type of shit. And they just like, yeah, that could go. But if Durkio says the F word, no, pull him off the whole tour. Pull him off. He can't be that. Our company would never let him advertise our brand now. Right. But it was cool when he was talking about dead people and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
And we could keep promoting, like you said, we could keep promoting that music that's damn near like really like genocide to a lot of our communities and a lot of our youth all over. So I definitely just agree with Dev when it comes to that. Like, we got like, and not even just when it comes to like the music shit, but we got so many issues that don't get handled and don't get addressed in this country. You know what I mean? We still looking at like police brutality in like a fucking such an ugly way, and we won't address shit like that, oppression, all these black lives that's been killed and shit like that, and we won't make that like a number one rule yet. We've seen them sign laws for Asian hate and shit like that, but they won't do nothing about shit like that. So no disrespect to, like, you know, the LGBT community and different groups and other different communities, but if we're gonna start frying fish, I think we supposed to start with the biggest fish to fry. And the biggest fish to fry is like the shit certain groups have been dealing with for
Hold on. Go ahead. Let me go. I got a little different perspective, right? Because for me, and you know, a lot of the shit that we say on the Talk Heavy podcast is to challenge cancel culture, right? And in my own personal, you know, feeling, I feel like, you know, the LGBT community, y'all the new bullies, because now y'all got the power, right? And y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want to say towards any other race, creed, of people, right? But nobody can say anything towards y'all that's just slightly offensive. So it's safe to say you guys are the new fucking bullies, because y'all actually hold all of the cards, right? If a gay person makes a heterosexual joke, it's just hee ha ha. Heterosexual man make a gay joke, right?
He might as well sign his career.
He might as well sign his career off. I gave you an example, right? Like I tell a story all the time. I got 4 gay uncles, right? So my one gay uncle is a comedian. Like, he's funny as shit, right? So he says to me, he be like, yo, I could say shit like this, right? He be like, yo, all heterosexual men got a little bit of gay in them, right? So everybody in this room gonna say, no, motherfucker ain't talk about me. You feel like that? You feel like you got a little gay in you?
Oh,
absolutely not.
You feel like you got a little gay?
None of us. Well, I can't say none of us at the same, but
okay. So watch this, and we're gonna get back
they
on topic.
skipped me when they was
watch
giving
this.
that.
Watch this. You watch porn?
Yeah.
Do you see the dicks?
That's
don't
what
make you
said.
do
I'm not blind.
Do you see the dick?
I'm not blind,
you
bro.
trying to get him to say he see it.
Do you see the dicks?
See, this is when GB goes to another level.
I'm just trying to make a point
Go ahead,
here.
make your point.
Make your point.
Do you see the dicks?
Everybody sees the penis.
And they all see it. They all see it.
Okay then. So you basically in a nutshell, you kind of scrolling for dicks.
You know what?
Nah,
We gonna listen.
No. So
Listen.
this is a real. So this is an example my uncle said he gives me, right?
Okay.
He was like, now listen, you can't say that same thing to me though. He was like, because if we're in a group of people, I can say that shit to you. If you say that shit to me though, it's offensive. Everybody now is going to look at you different, where 20 years ago everybody would have just laughed. Now you'll get bashed for that shit. He's but I can say whatever the fuck I want to say.
But can you see why though? So it looks like there's a rule of thumb to this. Let's be fair, right? It has to do with the oppressed person in the scenario.
It's like nigga.
But it's different, a little different. Not worse, but it's a little different. The oppressed person in the scenario is the only one that's allowed to joke. Because think about this. Black niggas could tell white jokes and make our voice like white people all day, no problem. But if a black person do his impersonation of what he thinks a black person talks like, we mad. Same thing. White chicks, they could throw on white girl makeup and do a movie. If they do it with white dudes being black girls in a movie, it's called blackface, and because it offends a certain time period. So that's how you got to look at it for in the gay people situation of why that works like that.
Because we kind of go ahead.
My thing is entertainment, right? This is entertainment. Little Baby's an entertainer, right?
Baby, DaBaby.
I mean, put Little Baby in this. Little Baby, I'm trying to focus. So DaBaby, my bad, I'm on track. He's an entertainer, right? So I'm sure there's a couple murders in his raps that he didn't commit, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when we watch movies, I could act the role of a gay basher on here, and nobody will fucking ban me from cancel culture because it's entertainment. We have to, at some point, separate entertainment. We come on a Talk Heavy podcast and we speak freely. I would say that so we don't get canceled. We know we getting canceled. We ain't got no money. You can't take us off Lollapalooza. We never gonna be on there anyway. But I just feel like where is the borderline that this is entertainment also? You know, he's not gay bashing to the point where he's like, I don't want no gay people I'm not punching gay people in the face. I'm not doing anything harmful to gay people. I just said, put your fucking lighters up.
But I think that people just naturally don't like disrespectful people. So if you bring an audience of people that's spending money with you, and you blindly say something about, because like at the end of the day, bro, it could be my family member that got AIDS. I think, and I could be we got family members that got AIDS. Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why more people are kind of like speaking out, because some of the people that I heard that spoke out against DaBaby, like as far as celebrities and different platforms, I was like even wondering like, well, why he speak out? Because he's, I'm thinking because I thought initially this was all about just a disrespect towards the gay community and that. But, like I said, from, reading what I read, a lot of people can take offense to that. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like understand why.
I think he should have just blamed it on drugs. I honestly think he should have just said, yo, I'm high as shit.
But I think people should also do this, right? However people move, whatever unity people got, Asian people, homosexuals, whatever. Black people, like what Rich said, bigger fish to fry. That's our job to fry them fish. If the people in their gang been representing and putting themselves in a position where in their celebrities, their execs ain't having it, where they like, nah, not over here.
We need to do the same.
Them. We need to be able to do the same thing, but niggas won't. Because basically canceling something is basically protesting it. They're willing to protest things, give up things that they like. Like, if I don't, they like DaBaby's music up until that point.
Yeah.
They're willing to say, I won't listen to his music no more. But black people, think about this. We won't give up football if we like it. We won't give up UFC if we like it. We won't give up Chick-fil-A, whatever people might say, whatever somebody said something about. We won't ever band together. And what these people are doing is they're banding together even when they got their little different groups with their different agendas. They all clicking up to say, oh, nah, we not going to stand for that. The same way Jewish people will make sure, like, bro, you not going to get on no podcast, on no TV show, on nothing. Guess what? We own the History Channel. That shit might as well be called the Nazi Germany Channel. It's going to remind you constantly of what the Holocaust was like. So never again. You turn that channel on. It's not about black slavery and all of that. Like never. It's about Hitler and aliens.
Well, I think we're in a time where they're so I would say powerful. I think that's a good word to use. I think they're very powerful to the point that they're even explaining how they want you to, number one, communicate with them, how you want to acknowledge them.
Words you can use.
Words you can use, because I had a situation at work where there was they that came in and I referred.
Well, hold on. What you mean there was a they?
It was one person, but I referred to the person as she because you can tell it was a she.
Because it was just one.
It was one, but it was a
physical,
she.
from
It
your
was a human.
interpretation.
My interpretation, it looked like a female.
See
just
how
with
far
like
we gotta go with this?
facial hair.
Right.
But definitely like from the physical, looked like a woman, right? But dressed in like men's clothes, of course. So when that person came in, I acknowledged her as she. Like, I was like, hey, can you grab her? You know, whatever. So she was like, hey, no disrespect. She was like, but I don't identify as he or she. I identify as they or I forgot the other pronoun she used.
They.
I mean, other pronoun that
They, them.
They and them.
Yeah, that's what they
But it was
said.
a single.
It was one person. And I respected it because at the end of the day, they're going to the extra mile to basically educate. So they're educating on site because that's like
Because
you know, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. But let me explain why I feel like it's good for education because we need to do that.
That's not education.
No, it is
go ahead,
education.
go ahead.
It's not education into like what we're used to, but if there's something new going on and this is how they want to move forward within their lives, we need to respect however somebody wants to move on with their life.
All right,
right?
so hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't want to cut off nothing.
Hold on, no, I just want to respect however they're moving, and if they want to be referred as something, it's like somebody calling you whatever they want to call you, right? And be like, no, I want to be referred to as Porter.
Why they pick
not-
that group name though? I don't like they.
I don't know
it
why.
defines the English
To my
language.
understanding,
Everything is they.
No, but to my understanding, DJ Khaled said we didn't like they. They always didn't want us to win. They. Remember DJ
Oh,
Khaled?
yeah,
They.
yeah.
Like they.
I didn't even think about that.
Nah, but seriously, like I just don't understand how you. I mean, I get what you're saying, Wally, and we want to.
I don't understand the I don't understand the pronouns.
But-
I don't know where they came from. This is
my
how they
thing,
want to
my
identify.
thing is this, right? And it's the only issue I got with because I hear what you're saying as far as like trying to just be respectful, right? Because so much stuff is changing, right? But at the same time, it's like being respectful and kind of like just condoning and supporting something. I feel like there needs to be like kind of like a line. And the only reason why I say like it needs to be kind of like a line because
What you mean condoning and
like kind of like because if you like, I feel like if I'm in favor of like a certain group and they could start just changing our terminology.
Correct. This is the problem.
Terminologies of how we've been speaking for years.
Right.
In our life.
Right.
Like you get what I'm saying?
But
And
they're
now,
not changing the term. They're changing the term for them specifically.
but you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. But I'm just saying.
But
Listen,
they
I'm just saying.
no. They changing it for them.
Right.
But in order for them to change it for them, they're asking you to change.
Right. So hold on.
They're asking you to change too
Rich,
whenever they see you.
So Rich, let
But
me.
right, but if for example, if I want to be referred, and it's just terms and regardless, but it's just like however I want to be called. Like if somebody's calling me Waleska, they're like, do you want to? They give me the option. Do you want me to call you Waleska or do you want me to call you Wally? Granted, it's a name.
different.
It's not a
But
gender.
Wally, so this is where I'm saying when you and I need people to look at this logically and not try to look at everything and be offensive. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be weak. Listen to people. We having a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
If my daughter comes to me
Mm-hmm.
and she has the play hot dog in her hand, the play burger, all
Right.
that shit, and she's like, "Oh, look, Daddy, I'm cook something for you." I pretend with her, right? Good. I play the role because it's a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make pretend with you. I cannot make pretend with adults. When we start playing around with the English language, where if we're having a conversation in English,
Mm-hmm.
we agree that the word they is plural in
To multiple.
right?
Mhm.
Because the words have definition, and I want to make sure that we are communicating.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell me to call you anything you want,
Right.
but once it gets to the point where a person is asking me to do something where I'm not understanding the language because you want me to call you plural people instead of you have a different name.
That
It could have been anything
Yeah.
you wanted.
No bullshit. Enough of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Enough of it could possibly affect the person who is trying to respect this and change their whole shit, because that's like you coming to me saying, like you said,
Right.
you want to change your name, right? You come to me and for whatever reason, because of whatever you believe that you a certain way, whatever a group, whatever your belief is, you come to me and you say, Rich, from now on, don't address me as Wally or me or her or she. Rich, call me us. Right? And I'm like, call you us. And I'm sitting there, and you like, yeah, just call me us, because I got something going on that nobody knows about.
I got a lot of people in
I
here.
got something going on that like nobody knows about, me and my people. And we rock. This how we rocking.
Right.
And I'm like, call you us. I'm like, Wally, I might think you like
your
going a
motherfucking
little
mind.
crazy.
Right,
like we
right,
need to get Wally like a doctor. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, if I feel that you serious, you know, and I know, you know, not say me and you in our real relationship person. I'm just saying this, using this as an example.
I agree.
Like, and you really asking me like to change some shit like that, and I feel like me saying that
Makes you uncomfortable?
it makes me uncomfortable, makes me sound like an asshole.
Hold on, and it's making him say like he's saying us now when
And
he's
it's
speaking on you, or
Got it.
saying like he's talking.
I just feel stupid, period. And as a human,
Playing along
as
with something.
As a human, we've been
Yep.
already like
Yep.
accustomed to, you know, certain shit, and I just feel
Like things already have meaning,
I would
and
be
they already
interested.
mean something.
So one of the biggest ones with that, right? Since I was a kid, I always thought there was something called gender, and that gender was completely based on a physicality.
right.
Then there was something that came out that was called gender roles, which is a construct of civilization.
Right.
That a gender role that in their mind a woman wears this and a man wears this. That's always arguable. But the gender was just the physical vehicle.
Right.
What's the model type that the person came in? And now it seems that they're rewriting the definition of what the original word, almost to say when they're arguing against gender roles instead of gender. Gender is something different. So now, because I want to bring this up and then Richie jump in, I saw that they were talking about removing gender from birth certificates.
Listen, my thing is this. You want respect, you're going to get respect. We can respect it. I understand the world changes. People going to get respect. But you're not going to ask me to compromise my lifestyle, change how I live my life and the life that I'm accustomed to and the life that brings me happiness. That's my gift from God. You're not going to ask me to fucking compromise that, man. I live with that shit in my household, yo, since I love my brother to death. My brother been gay since he was a freshman in high school, probably before that, my oldest brother, right? And we still my brother is still older now, still gay, love him to death. We in the household, we live together, me, him, and my son. I do not condone no gay stuff from my brother around my son in any way, shape, form, or fashion, respectfully. I love my brother to death, but I will constantly tell him, if you watching them shows, if you watching that type of stuff, my son don't need to be around it. He don't need to be offered it, influenced by it in any shape, way, form, or fashion. I'm raising a young man here. Help me raise a young man, respectfully. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? And my brother don't got, and again, it's all respectful. It's in a respectful way. When my son say, "Oh no, you know, we talking about my brother," and he say, "No, but she gotta eat too." He gotta eat. He gotta eat, son. That's a man. That's my brother. Why? Because you can't change me. You can't change me and what I stand for.
Well, no, I think that's agreeable, but I feel like if your brother's allowing you to, if y'all have that agreement, that's
But my brother
respected.
gotta respect my son. My brother gotta
Well, no,
respect.
that's what I'm saying. Y'all had the conversation.
When do it
But-
stop?
but-
No, I don't want to cut you off. When do it stop?
But I feel like now we starting to encounter this kind of stuff like what you encounter with in
Right.
public with
Right.
strangers.
Because what if
We're
you're
like,
so
now
hold on? Didn't jobs in different places respect everybody's at one point religious beliefs?
No, absolutely.
Now everybody's religious beliefs are not respected because we know that I'm not a religious person, so this don't speak
But
to
in
me.
all a lot of different
all
religions.
the major religions that we know of, we know that they are in disagreement with these practices.
There
Right.
are wars
So-
fought over religion.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So if we know that, now it seems though that the tide has turned and they made it where it was like, look, your religious belief, no matter what you feel,
right.
you gonna have to acknowledge this person
As-
or this situation as this, not as your belief system.
But the
But
removal,
when do it stop? Like, so if I can identify as anything the fuck I want to be at this point, right? I could call myself a dinosaur. Now I identify as a dinosaur, and everybody in this room has to look at me as or respect me.
No,
I know it sounds like a joke.
It's not
It sounds like a joke, but it's fucking
No, it's not a joke.
No,
it
but
comes to a
it's
point of
We're right.
I never. Why I'm laughing is because when you put it in that perspective, I'm looking at it like, you know what, he has a point.
It's
because
true.
it's just like at this point, you know, we're like Dev said, they're trying to remove the gender off of, you know, your birth certificate. I don't.
Which
what
is
you were saying,
crazy.
which is kind of crazy to me because it's like we can't pick and choose what we were born as.
And let me say one last thing. I
and
want to
then-
get this last thing in.
You know what? Hold on. Let's
That's my last thing.
let's
That's my last thing. If we go, what if somebody comes up with the brilliant idea that let's go back in time? We don't know how Dr. Martin Luther King or Christopher Columbus identified as. So let's remove he or she from all.
I
that
could see that happening.
Now, everybody is- we don't know what-
I can.
as years
They
go
do
on,
retcon shit.
How again, no disrespect to nobody, right? To nobody. Because I respect all people.
Yeah,
I respect a
absolutely.
lot of this new stuff that
I feel like we all respect
I
all
respect
the
even new
communities.
stuff that I don't condone and that I
Right.
don't agree with, but I respect it. Because respect is one thing, right? But my thing is this. How did we get to fucking removing gender off a birth certificate before we fucking remove race off a birth certificate?
That's
when
very-
all the fucking shit we've been dealing with over fucking race, all the people that's been oppressed and killed over race, all the people that can't get a job over race, all the people that's been turned down in apartment complex over race. All this shit been going on for 50, 75, hundreds of years.
Right.
And we never we never thought to deal with that. But yet still we'll have this gender shit being a discussion at the top of the discussions. We'll have laws signed again, and no disrespect to my Asian community, because I don't condone no hate towards nobody.
No, but
Right.
fuck Biden.
But you'll sign a act for the Asian community after like one or two incidents of like hate crimes, recent joints
Talk about
anyway.
it. Right.
I'm not talking about all time, but recent joints. You go right to it. And we've been watching fucking black people get slaughtered out here
And they still are to
for
this
fucking
day.
years.
Yeah, because
and we can't get a fucking
Because
law
it
passed.
also starts coming from
Back what
back
Devin
what
said.
I said. It's they fighting they cause.
Right.
Yep.
If
We
we
need
not
to
gonna
fight, yep.
fight our cause, if we gonna still be cool with the smoking on Tuka, if we still gonna be cool, I'm telling you, these are the division. We already know, bro, there's not enough unity
Yeah.
within the black
yep.
community. And I'm talking about everyone. I don't care if you're Puerto Rican, like all of that. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough. There's not enough. Everybody, look how when we talked a couple weeks back, and we talked about the thing that happened in Mount Laurel and how they went out and protested and started arguing outside of the house about a different issue because they're not getting on the same accord. And what we saying is these people in these alphabets, man, they getting on the joint
Hey, you
and,
know-
they clicking up like Voltron, bro.
Right.
I agree. I agree with you because I know we have to fight because that's just how the cards landed and that's just the cards we dealt.
Right.
But at the end of the day, to a certain extent, I also disagree because I feel like I know it's powers that be like, look, when that shit happened with like whatever happened with like those Asian crime acts and hate acts, nobody really had to march. Nobody really had to like come together. It was powers that be that said, no, that's wrong. We making this right.
No,
because you got the power to be able to do it. I just feel like it's powers that can make some of this shit right that the black people deal
And they
with.
sure politics for that
shit.
black vote
and
just
they
go
don't.
around.
And they don't.
But I think that it's the power that the people got. These people be having a whole community.
Yes.
Of these people could make the whole Chinatown shut down. Like these people, they got businesses. They got whole community, like places. They got countries.
That's
you know
what
what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna say. We do
Like they got
business with a whole
they got a
country.
whole,
They got a whole
they got a whole country, bro. They be sitting there like, look, what y'all doing to our people over there? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
That's a
Like
fact.
what we doing?
Yeah.
So the difference is when people could put themselves, like I said, with the whole LGBTQ, all that, there are people that's in their powerful spots ain't forgetting the other people. They saying, we got you up here. You did some funny shit here. Fuck my bag, the bag that I was going to make selling this product with your face on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to forego that because you said some shit about my people. And that's why they winning, man.
Yeah.
The way they got their shit structured, it's a different type movement, man.
And
The
you
way they
gotta
doing that
understand,
shit,
a lot
man.
of people in the government and a lot of people, you know, politicians and all that, a lot of them are a part of that community.
My thing,
To some degree,
that's a fact.
it might not be talked about, but that's why they have those people in those higher powers and being able to do that.
my biggest thing again, and that's before we jump off this shit, but my biggest thing again is just respect, man. If you want respect, you got to be able to give it. That's just like that scenario I mentioned about my brother. Don't think I treat my brother fucked up in the crib. My brother still has his company. He still has gay friends that come over. They chop it up. They do whatever they do. I don't get involved in that. I say, what's up? I'm cordial. I'm respectful. You know, again, this is just about me and my son. And the life that I've learned from my dad and how I was raised by my mom and dad, and you know what I'm passing down to my son, and to move forward for the legacy and the lineage of my family. And I just feel
Absolutely.
like we all gotta respect each other individually. If you choose to live your life however you choose to live it, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But just have some respect for me and how I live my life, because you can't be asking me to change my whole fucking vocabulary now.
Right,
And
right.
have me out here looking weird, just talking like in y'all, basically in like y'all ebonics.
Correct.
And
In
on
like,
that-
a code,
and on
in, like
that-
a, in like a code that we don't even know what the fuck it's about.
And on that note, and you know, to piggyback on what Porter said, I just want to issue an apology to Slice, the girl that you was dating with the dick, right?
Oh,
Fuck out of here.
I just want to issue an apology, bro. Like, you know what I mean? What she.
Hey, Dev,
They are
you cut this motherfucker off.
they are able to identify with whatever they want to identify with. I want to apologize to you. Bro.
Listen, so look. I told y'all it's gonna be hard to get to this stuff today, man. We're gonna move forward. Did y'all see?
Let's take a shot.
You put this back?
Yeah.
Like a double.
Take a shot
That
for
boy,
my man.
what
Listen,
happened?
my man just took a trip.
Yo,
He made
check
it back
this out
safely.
real quick. On the song 100%, right? You know, I turned that on as soon as I got to Puerto Rico
you
or whatever,
didn't.
right? From from Big Pun. Yo, the whole time I thought my man was shouting out like TV stations and websites. I thought he said "Telemundo or mi gente" on that part. That's what I
You
thought.
think te lo juro por mi gente.
I
He
know,
said
man.
Telemundo.
Telemundo.
I thought the whole time.
You thought he was Brandon, nigga?
I thought he said
That was-
Telemundo
You
or
thought
mi
he was
gente.
endorsed. You thought the whole project was endorsed by
I
Telemundo.
did, and I just found out today. Shout out to my baby. She was like, "Dev, he's not saying Telemundo or mi gente. That's not what it's saying." And she broke that down.
Shout out to
me.
the legend, man. That was
Yeah.
one of the biggest
Big
Puerto
pun.
Rican
Shout out
records
to him.
ever.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Oh yeah, we're
And
gonna
shout out
have
to Dad for making it back safely, the Black Gilligan.
Yeah. You saw me. I had the hat and everything. Where's your? Hold on.
Because I ain't have an extra shot.
What the hell?
Y'all didn't
Oh
get
no. Pour hers in
Oh,
the. No,
no.
pour hers in
Yeah.
the cup.
No,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what?
pour hers in the cup. Yeah, take
That's how you do it.
It's clean. Pour that in there and then pour me another one.
Yeah.
Trying to
Man,
get
my
rid of my Joe.
And pour me a little less.
But no, I wanted to talk about this real quick. And I want to kind of go get y'all opinions on it real fast. Did y'all see the video? Texas cop, held down the girl,
Yes.
mounted her, all of
Yes.
that type of shit.
Yes.
I just wanted to get y'all opinions before I shot off mine. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, really quick.
Let's take a shot.
Hold on,
Let's
cheers,
take a shot.
cheers.
You'll get a better
Cheers,
answer.
guys.
Hey, your prosperous future.
Cheers.
2021.
Here we go. That was smooth though. That was smooth.
That's that smooth
Yeah.
But really quick,
I got my nipples
you know,
burning.
Pure.
they said that she was like doing suicidal acts.
Mhm.
And now the way he handled her and the way the situation all happened, I kind of understand why he handled this situation the way he did. You know, I feel like if you feel, and I feel like he did it properly. Like he didn't pull no weapon out. He legit just used his body and his hands, put her hands up like that, just to kind of like put her down, which I feel like that's how any situation they should be handling people anyway. He didn't have his hand over her face. He wasn't choking in her. He was literally like straddling her, but just had her, her hands above.
Right.
And I just think, honestly, low key, he was saving her life. And that's how I look at it, because this young girl, teenager at that, she could have got hit by a car, or because that's clearly she was doing different things to kind of, harm herself to a certain degree.
Maybe so.
That's what they're saying.
Didn't we just not too long ago, and not to cut y'all off, but didn't we just not too long ago see a situation where it was a girl, and I believe it was some mental stuff involved, where she kind of charged a cop with a knife, and they killed her.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
No. The cop showed up on the scene. She called the police, but when the cop showed up, she had a knife. And they saw her going towards another girl, and they killed the girl.
Yeah. She was going towards another girl.
They killed the girl that actually called the cops, because when they showed up, she had a knife.
Right, and this was another situation where the girl, they said she had some mental.
But
No. I don't think it was a mental. I think that she was just getting jumped, and there was a whole bunch of girls at her crib, and she called the cops, and she got a knife to fend off a group of girls.
Yeah.
It was the timing of when he showed up. He's saying, I show up.
Gotcha.
You got the knife in your hand, but people are like, why didn't you shoot different places? But that's a different
Yeah,
joint.
only reason
Right?
I was trying bring that up though, because I was thinking it do be a lot of these scenarios, and I've heard before people talking about a special group, a special task force
Right.
for these type of situations, to try to just avoid a police officer who's really trained for kind of criminal activity and things of that nature.
But police officers are not just trained for just criminal.
Yeah,
But
but what he said, no.
I don't think
Oh,
they
what
train
you're meaning? Okay, I get what
I
you're
don't think
saying.
they train for mentally health
Yeah,
people.
so basically,
right, right, right.
so basically, if
In that
there was a
call.
task force that showed up that didn't even have a gun to shoot anybody, it's not even possible at that point.
Right.
Because they're showing up, they take care of smaller issues that's not like that. But
So
in
they
this,
have an ambulance. So when you call 911 and you have somebody that's mentally ill or something, there's a specific code. I forgot what the code is. My mom told me about this because she used to work in the ER. But they come out, they're supposed to come out first. And they come out, because remember the kid that got killed in Philly who was mentally, his mom called the cops, and then the cop, they were supposed to call, I forgot what the coding, oh my God. It's a mental coding. Basically, the ambulance was supposed to come to handle him. So there is not a task force, but the ambulance, there's a certain
but they
type
usually
of people.
dispatch police though,
Yes.
as well, especially if people outside saw a weapon or saw anything
Exactly.
like that, but they don't know the situation.
Right.
Now, in this situation, I actually agree with Waleska. I watched the video, and I watched 2 different videos. Now, I wasn't there, so I never saw the girl trying to throw herself in front of the traffic. So if the police officer says there was multiple calls that said that this woman was throwing herself in traffic, so she was trying to get hit by a car. When he approached her, she was distraught, crying. He's asking her very, very nicely, hey, soft voice approaches. I don't know how else he could have approached it.
Right.
Hey, are you okay? What's going on? And she's crying, and he's trying to talk to her. Hold on. Now, if it was just a random person he saw crying walking down the street, he has no jurisdiction. But the fact that he's only there because people said it's a girl trying to kill herself in the street. He shows up, he sees who the person is, they're crying, distraught, and when he's going to talk to her, at a certain point, he goes and grabs her arm. Now, I can't tell you how hard his grip is. I can't, right?
Let me say this. Let me say this real fast, because you do mixed martial arts, right? You in the gym. So I'm not talking about the police officers that be on nut shit that's trying to, put your knee on your neck. But I'm talking about the good cops, right? That's actually out here trying to restrain people, right? It just seems like no matter how they try to restrain you, it's going to be wrong.
Right.
You being somebody that does mixed martial arts, right? You're not going to grab somebody the same way every time.
Right.
The hold that you use is going to be based on
what's in front of me.
What's in front of you, right?
Correct.
So I think sometimes we get hypersensitive,
Yes.
right?
That's a good word to use.
About it's like, yo, you guys want this person to be taken down in a perfect way, right?
Not
every
possible.
single time. You don't know what angle he was on. You don't know how he had to grab the person, and he's trying to. This is an instance where he's trying to save somebody's life. Nobody's going to be taken down the same way every time.
And I'm glad you actually said that, because I wasn't even thinking to talk about that. So, for example, it's not like he's saying, yo, I thought the girl was threatening me, So I had to put an elbow in her face or anything like that. He saw that there was no threat. So when he grabbed her, he just grabbed her arm here. When he grabbed her arm here, she said, "You're hurting me," and was like crying. Now I'm gonna be honest. If I'm holding Wally's arm right now, and I'm a strong motherfucker, and I squeeze this joint, you know what I'm saying? And I'm squeezing as hard as I can. How much does this really hurt though, for real, for real?
No.
I'm squeezing hard, and I'm a person with a grip. I grip shit all day. Pause. Pause. You saw he did this. He got this.
Grip all day.
But what I'm saying is, when that person is in a situation where they feel like that's not what they want, they scared, they not in the right mindset, she's saying, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me. I don't want you to hurt me." And he's telling her, I'm not trying to hurt you, but I can't let you go here. He got one arm on her. There's no elbows, no knees, nothing. So at a certain point when she's trying to like get away and he has to sit her down in some way. And I understand when the parent shows up, mom gonna react the way mom react.
That's a fact.
I don't have no problem with the way mom reacted because she's only going off of what she could see right now.
Right.
Your camera's off you. You're on top of my daughter. She was just walking. I don't know that she's trying to commit suicide. What the fuck is going on? Get off. So the mom, I believe, is just acting the way any mom would.
Absolutely.
But once you go back and look at things, mom or whoever, you see he did not take his camera off. His camera came off in the struggle to get her on the ground.
Yeah.
It was not a thing where he took off his camera because he wanted to do some bullshit. He was trying to talk to her. It was something different. So Slice, I want you to jump in, but I don't even want to stay on this long. I'm gonna keep it real. This one is a false flag a little bit.
I agree that it could have been a false flag, but back to what you're saying about restraints. I worked at a alternative school, disciplinary school, and we're not masters of nothing, but we were taught certain ways to restrain kids in fights and take them down. And at the end of the day, if her being on top or whatever the case, it's a way to put a person in a proper restraint move that they can be safe. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to go back and look at the tape and saying, if him being on top of her screaming, "I can't breathe," one, that's like no in the bedroom with a woman these days. "I can't breathe" is a code word for like, pass her off, do something. You need to, and he may didn't have a help from what I see.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like he was titty fucking her.
It's certain ways
he was holding her down,
But
and the way he was
okay,
on top. So when her mom walked up,
can I interject? Can I interject?
Yes,
There's no. So the only other ways would be for him to basically rear naked choke her, even if he didn't have the choke in. People would be much more upset about that.
Much more
If he had her in a situation where he had like a half mount or like he was in half guard, which would be like if you grinding with a girl. You know, one leg between each other's leg. That's that. But when you fighting and you holding somebody down, you either got full mount or half guard or side control. No matter what,
it would have been wrong.
No matter what, people would have been like, he's got his pelvis against that woman's pelvis. They would much rather say he was sitting up on her stomach or breastbone or something like that. So no matter what, there is no nice way, if you want to call it that,
that's my point,
to subdue another person that's struggling back.
Especially who's, like you said, she was crying. So, and she's saying she can't breathe, and that's why he was telling her, relax. Because what she was doing, she was hysterical. When they were saying she's foaming at the mouth, she wasn't foaming, she was crying. You got snot.
And she's spitting,
She's spitting. It's a lot going on. She's emotionally, going through what she's going through. And like you said, what was the word you used? Hypersensitive.
Yeah, hypersensitive.
So anything, when you're angry and you're crying, if Dev did like this, I'm going to keep crying. I'm going to be like, that hurts.
Yeah.
You just hurt me. Like, yes, she was very hypersensitive. I think he did the best he could to handle her. And I think also he saved this young woman's life.
And another thing is, it's just an eyesore, number one, because it's a man and a woman, and it's black and white.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an eyesore because of those things.
I was going to talk about that a little bit, just because from what I know about police and like training and what they're trained to do, and like kind of like their little rules and laws. I always just understood that, like, when a police has a encounter with like a woman, like they have to get a woman officer there like immediately. Like I remember a day and point in time when I know in my community, I mean, I don't know about every other department and how they operate, but I remember it was a point in time in my community where like a male officer couldn't even like touch her.
Absolutely.
Almost like you had to have a female officer come like search
Well, I
her,
will
come
say I don't
address
know
that.
about the female officer part, but he called for backup immediately.
He did.
But as soon as he saw she not wrong with the program, they wasn't even on those
I mean, I get
scrambling.
it. Plus, sometimes a female might not already be on deck, and if it's an emergency situation where you got to save,
He saved her life.
I want to spin this
I get
conversation because this wasn't even on my list, and I'm gonna talk about it now. Oh shit! A female officer witnessed the shooting while on duty in a car and sped the fuck off and let that boy get clapped up. I sent the video to Richie. Remember, it was a female officer in a car with another. I think they was in a car with another officer.
Oh yeah,
They happened to be posted up. Somebody rolled up in a whip on somebody, pulled out, start hitting them. They peeled left bull.
The hot sign came more Krispy Kreme.
Listen.
Where was that at?
I don't even know. So that's how crazy it was. I wasn't even going to talk about this. This was something while I was out in PR doing my thing, swimming, snorkeling, and all of that. This story came up, and I said, "Yo, Rich, when I get back, I said, like, let's talk about this." And I completely forgot about it. Actually, it wasn't until you brought up calling a female officer that it clicked in my head, and I said, "Whoa, wait a minute." I'm going to have to bump some of this other stuff because that is very interesting. It was like in that moment, they forgot they was cops. They peeled off, dipped, and then came back to get Pick Bull up off the ground, and the shooters got away.
I've seen that before.
What type of gun?
I've seen that before.
So,
It looked like they had, Bull looked like he had like a little Draco.
Yeah, I mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, yeah, it ain't even that like they forgot they was cops. I just think like human nature kicking with cops.
Right. Yep.
You still fucking human. And guess what? In a lot of places, in a lot of cities, in a lot of like countries still, police don't even go in like certain communities. You understand?
Yeah.
Because they know like they don't govern the community. The community is really like governed by like
And this happened- this
what
actually
we might
happened in
consider
Detroit.
to be mafias, gangs, thugs, whatever.
I've seen cops pull up on a corner. Let's just take, for instance, let's say New Year's Eve, right? On New Year's Eve down North Philly, everybody used to get together, bag of guns, everybody let the guns off on the air.
Right.
I've seen police pull up, look and say, they got too many fucking guns.
I'm out.
I'm out. Because it's at the end of the day, it's like, yo, listen, I don't got no backup here. They got that hot shit.
I'm human.
And I'm trying to go home to my babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, yo, I'm not in a position to handle this shit.
right.
Like they got
it's-
Dracos.
it's still like kind of like to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like stuck in between, right? Because you get scared. You scared for your life. You don't know what to do in this situation. Your nerves kick in. Whatever. Your human nature kick in. You freeze up. I understand it, but at the same time, somebody's life is about to be at jeopardy, and for something that you
What's the
signed
average
up
cop
to
salary?
for something that you signed up to prevent.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So
Then I'm gonna make a point. Go ahead.
What's the average salary of a cop?
40,000, 35,
Even
maybe.
let's say 50, 60.
Yeah.
For $50,000, $60,000, I'm not stepping out there fighting.
So-
Listen, but motherfuckers put it like this,
But
right?
a lot of people
Because I look at it like this, right? Even motherfuckers in the Marines, motherfuckers in the armies, even they retreat. When that shit get too hot and they can't get in there,
Yeah, they gotta
even
get
they turn the fucking around and tuck tail. So and they got that
And they got shit
They
on
got that shit. So it's like in certain situations, like, yeah, you supposed to be there to save my life. You supposed to, as a police officer, you supposed to be there to save my life. But at the end of the time, at the end of the day, if that motherfucker's turn fire on you, you still not gonna save my life.
So hold on. Now this is the thing. You got the drop in that situation. They not aimed at you. They don't even peep that they there. They just doing
That's
what
a
they
different
doing.
situation.
So this is another. So this is the thing. Why is it that if your job is a cop, you're not in a gang, right? You said you're not in a gang. You said you there to protect and serve the people, right? Why on instinct to protect yourself when people got pistols? You always bust that joint off and kill the person with the gun. But your instincts when you saw the gun being shot at a civilian, you peeled off. If you seen the gun getting shot at your partner or at another police officer, you dumped off. Why is it that you only dump when something could be a threat to police officers, but when it's to another person,
Yeah,
because it's always like in the heat of the moment, I was
and
scared and I bust the gun.
And guess what? And in that scenario, Dev, they might be actually like liable of some kind of violations and penalties if they like if they like take off on a police officer
and they are in
getting
this
shot.
They're fucked in this situation too.
They're probably fucked up.
They're fucked in this situation.
But they going home.
But the
No,
police,
they're not.
But they going home.
They're going home.
And then
Yes,
They
yes.
go
there
home,
are
though.
cops. So hold on, there are cops. Let's keep this real that are afraid to bust their guns. Now
We
we
gotta
can
say
talk.
that.
We can
We gotta
talk. We
say
can
that.
talk about the cops that do all
Yeah.
the shooting and all that stuff. There are some cops that are fucking totally afraid. Some come to our neighborhood and
In
they're
Camden,
afraid.
in Camden right now, it's police that's out there right now scared to death.
It's some cops that come to Hunter Park and I see the fear in their eye when they get out the car.
I see the ones
They're
in my
afraid.
hood.
They're afraid. Not even on, and it's not even
I
a
get it,
violent
though.
situation. No bullets are that's flying. Nothing. It's just the amount of guys that stand on the corner and them getting out saying you guys got to disperse.
Them
You
guys
can still see the
listen,
fear.
them guys in my hood, they walking by like, and they walking by stone cold, like in the hood, just stone cold, like violent.
I give you a
violent young
perfect
niggas.
example. I talked
they
to
like,
Porter a couple
hey,
weeks ago,
how's it
right?
going?
I talked to Porter a couple weeks ago. Porter had like a big cookout block party, whole thing that was
Porter be
kicking
getting
off,
it
right?
popping out
Yeah,
here.
Porter be getting it popping,
ahead.
right? He had this whole thing jumping off. It got late, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking police come, right? They had to basically, in a nice way, go to Porter and be like, yo, bro, like, can you, like,
Oh, that's a fact.
Can you
That
calm
was the
this?
night you came
can
out,
you,
right?
Can you,
Video shoot.
Can you
Oh,
chill
yeah,
this?
you
Can
know,
you,
that's
can
a
you,
fact.
can you calm this joint down?
That's a fact.
Yo, they don't. Sometimes in certain situations they don't want no smoke. If it's
They gotta go
if
to
it's
people-
if it's one cop outside and you got 100 blacks and Puerto Ricans out there, that badge
But you know
don't
what's
mean
crazy?
shit.
And you know what's crazy though? What I want to mention about that real quick is that they really, the only reason it's like that, bro, is because the cops that they had that could communicate with the motherfuckers from the community was from the community. They fired them all. They got rid of all the police and the people from the community and brought in all these strangers. So, and most of these strangers, they don't know nothing about this habitat and this lifestyle. They don't speak the lingo. So it's difficult for them to even communicate with the young guys.
And they'll be the first ones that'll shoot the shit out you because they scared.
Yo,
Absolutely.
but yo,
Absolutely.
we gotta get out of here soon. But just on some lingo that he talked about, man. Speaking of lingo, there's some people that's having a versus tonight.
Talk that talk.
There's a versus tonight, man, and we can't even get too into it. We are out of time like a motherfucker.
It's
And
vicious, though.
we do want y'all to be able to get over to this versus, and that's why
Yeah.
we put this episode out a little earlier than we
and
normally do.
And we trying to
Thinking
go
of-
watch it
think-
ourselves. And we trying to go fucking watch it too.
we really did it for y'all. Keep it going first.
Yeah, but in this versus we got Dipset versus Dollaz. This is just my opinion. This is my opinion on it. I really, really want the Dip to win. I want the Dip to win. I feel like Cameron and the whole movement with Jewels and everything that they did had maybe a bigger. I feel like they had a bigger impact on me.
They
But
did.
then when I go back
They did.
and I really started looking at the locks and everything, and I start. Money, power, respect. Yo, I start. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Mighty D Block. When I really start, like, I can't. If I live to my last day, hitting hoes that be nasty. I start listening to everything, and I'm like, the locks got too many joints. Too many joints. Now I know that it's down to 20 a piece. Is how I usually go.
Right.
Nah, this gonna be crazy.
So that helps it. But each side got some nuclear bombs. Each side, Cam got.
Can I go?
I really mean it.
Can I go? Can I go?
Go,
Can I
go.
Can I go? I share the same sentiment. I want Dipset to win because I feel like culturally, fashion-wise, niggas wasn't wearing pink until Dipset. I wore my first pink polo because of Cameron, right? When you think about it, you know what the Dipset logo looked like. You don't know what D-Block logo looked like.
You right.
It's worldwide. Motherfuckers who wasn't a part of Dipset, Cat Williams and motherfuckers got the fucking diplomat shit.
Lil
right?
Wayne was Dipset.
Right?
Stop that shit,
Stop
Dev.
that shit. Stop that shit.
Yo, stop that
Stop
shit,
that shit.
Dev.
He
Stop
was.
that
So
shit.
you keep
Stop
trying
that
to
shit.
give-
You keep trying to.
all right, that's all I'm
But
saying.
my thing is, I feel like, and this could be blasphemy. I want Dipset to win, but I feel like Jadakiss by himself could take out Dipset.
Oh,
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of
but I mean, he just gotta.
You see what he did to Fag?
I mean, listen. My thing is this, right? And for the record, I like them both. I think it's legendary. I'm happy they doing it. Styles P and Jim Jones, shout to them both. They did a hell of a job selling this shit.
Styles P is my nigga.
They out there like Don King on this shit.
No, that's
them
a fact. Especially Jim.
on their Instagrams and everything. They really like sold this motherfucker. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Locks. And only reason because it was more for me, just the music, the styles of the music. Like, don't get me wrong, I listen to a lot of Dipset shit too. They got heavy shit. They mixtape shit is not to be slept on. That's what a lot of people don't understand about this. That it was certain like mixtape records that artists have put out, right? That shit was so crazy in communities and in hoods that it's really like a huge record. And people don't know that they're gonna be sliding in records like that. This is gonna go from like the mainstream hits to like some of they mixtape shit, because these are both two legendary groups that had crazy mixtape runs. You know, those D-Block mixtapes and all that shit, them Dipset mixtapes and all that shit. All that shit is gonna be hitting the fan. It's gonna be crazy. But I got the Locks. I think the Locks, just that rough, that that hard shit is going over. I think it's gonna just outdo the Fly shit. I like the Fly shit, and I know they got some hard shit too over there with Dipset. But overall, I just think the Locks, Jada Kiss, like you said, Kiss got a motherfucking. And that's crazy that you mentioned that, because that's the thing. Like, this is their group efforts mixed in with a strategy of what they feel should be in the playlist of this 20, along with their solo records from each one of them. It's 3 members on each side.
Yes.
Do you think they're gonna allow them to do their solos on their?
Absolutely, absolutely.
100%.
You have to.
I think they should.
You have to.
The reason why I say that, because when Swiss and Tim, they be helping them pick songs. I don't know if they're like in the process of picking Dipset a lot.
so.
Yeah. Everybody does features too.
Yeah.
No, they do features, but I feel like as a collective, you get what I'm saying? They're gonna you only get 20 songs.
Yeah, they're going to get the
they
pull
gonna
from
do
anything
they
that
gonna do
any
solos
one of
because
them are
I-
They're
associated
going to
with.
do solos
if-
for the simple fact that they do features.
Yes.
So if you could
It-
do a song that you was just on, you definitely could do a song that you was just on and you in the group.
Because if they remove Cameron's solo albums from some of this shit, it's a landslide.
Yeah.
Some of that Come Home With Me shit.
Come Home With Me is the one.
That's the one.
Some Jim Jones and Joel's aren't on a lot of those songs.
Yeah.
But that's a classic album. If Cameron can't do some of those songs, it's a landslide.
But my thing is this, and this would all depending how it goes, because I think as units, they respectfully gonna play the biggest shit.
Yes,
the hardest
they
shit.
have to.
Even when it says like, no, we gotta play Just Kiss on this versus this Just Cam joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they respectfully are gonna do that, and that's where it's gonna get crazy at, because for real, Kiss got a lot of
Put
solo
like this,
shit
real quick.
too.
You think Jim Jones not gonna do Ballin'?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Do you
Yes,
think
the
nuclear bomb.
Do you think that Cameron's not gonna do Welcome to
boy,
New York
what
City?
a-
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Nah, that might be the first song.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
and that joint
and that's
got
him and Hov.
Joel's and it got Hov on it.
Thank
so
you.
it's
Yeah,
completely
but
perfect.
then, but
I
then
think
you're
it's
gonna
gonna be
hear Kiss come with Y with
Yeah.
Anthony Hamilton.
Absolutely.
It's like fucking
They have
one of
to.
the
We
biggest
wouldn't be
fucking records.
satisfied
But
if
I
they
wouldn't be
ever.
surprised if he won't
Even-
do Y though.
even-
I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
I don't see it coming.
He's doing why.
No, he's gonna do Y.
How much
Listen,
I want to bet he might not do Y.
I don't
though.
see him
How much
doing
I
it.
bet?
I
He's
think
doing
we
Bob-
might
he's-
even
he
hear. I
absolutely
think
doing
from
Y.
Kiss. I think from Kiss we might even hear Show Discipline. I think
Show
we
Discipline,
might.
nigga.
No, so I think they're not going to do Show Discipline, even though that's a personal favorite of mine with Nas. That's a personal.
Because they're gonna do Knock Yourself Out.
By the way, you couldn't get those
No,
lyrics
Knock
off
Yourself
no more.
Out?
They
They
like kill
shooting.
kill your mom, kill the dog,
Kill the-
You'll
What?
have
So-
everybody
No,
coming at you.
no, Knock Yourself Out.
Yes, that'll
24
play.
hours
Yeah.
to live.
That's a different
Are we
type
doing
of-
24 hours to
Yes,
live?
that's playing. They're gonna play I Always Love You, Big Papa. They're gonna cheat. They're gonna play. They're
sentimental
gonna
tracks.
cheat.
And they do that.
Yo,
that's-
they're gonna cheat.
And they got shit with
and
Big.
you
I
think
forgot
they
about
gonna-
that.
hold on,
And they got
you
shit
think
with
they gonna
DMX.
bring
And they
out
got shit
Faith
with
that?
DMX.
DMX and Big.
They might.
They got shit with
But-
DMX and
and they
Biggie.
got shit with DMX. They gonna cheat like a motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you, bars
Reservoir Dogs.
age different. So I was feeling everything, but at the end of the day, Cam, he was doing the. I'm at versus. I bring the church's hearses.
What's crazy is
I got computers puking.
I was playing Diplomatic Immunity. I was playing diplomatic immunity on my way here because I'm just getting in mode and shit. And I was hearing Cam. I'm like, Cam did used to be like, oop-diddy bop. And no disrespect, because we love Cam. Cam is fire and used to talk and shit.
Cam that nigga.
But it's crazy because when you think about like really like this new style of rap with a lot of people that catch so much flack, but some of our old MCs had their own little styles of gimmicky shit that was the shit.
But
they got off too.
His shit was like, he really was like, what's these? This is cupcakery, butt rapery. That's how that nigga would go down a whole scheme like that. And then the last note would always be like, really like pushed extra, like, yo, the gosh, but gosh. Yeah. So we getting out of here because we want to go watch this motherfucking shit, yo.
Absolutely.
You know, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Devinwade Show. For myself, for Puerto Rich, for What Less Could Be, and for the Talk Heavy Brothers. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Me and my guys go back to the sandbox. So all my bros got the same ops. Thought it was sweet, ain't paying not. All in the field, no sand lot. Like an all black college got bands out. Chop an arm off before I give a hand out. Since a young boy knew I stand out. Hit the plug so much he ran out. Started with nothing and turned it to something. Heard at the venue they playing me dumping. It take a lot to make all these hundreds. It take a lot, we keeping it jumping. Started with nothing and turned it to something. Heard at the venue they playing me dumping. It take a lot to make all these hundreds. It take a lot, we keeping it jumping.